There comes a point in everyone's life when you realize that no matter how much you explain yourself, some people will never understand you. You can spend hours trying to justify your actions, your choices, or your silence. But to those who have already decided what they want to believe, your words will never be enough. This story is about learning when to stop defending your worth and how silence, when used wisely, can speak louder than 1,000 explanations. There was once a young man named Aaron who lived in a small town known for its tight-knit community. Everyone knew everyone. And in a place like that, people talked a lot. Aaron was kind, hardworking, and humble, but he had one flaw. He cared too much about what others thought of him. If someone misunderstood his intentions, he couldn't rest until he cleared things up. If someone accused him of something unfair, he would explain and defend himself again and again until they finally believed him. Or at least until he thought they did. One day, Aaron started a small shop selling handmade furniture. He poured his heart into it, staying up late at night, polishing wood, crafting each piece with care. But in a few weeks, rumors started spreading. Some said his furniture wasn't as good as others. Some whispered that he had borrowed money he never intended to repay. None of it was true. But the more Aaron tried to explain himself, the more people seemed to doubt him. He went from door to door, talking to neighbors, trying to prove his honesty. "I've never cheated anyone," he said. "My furniture is made with love and patience." But they only nodded politely and whispered again after he left. It seemed that every time he spoke, his words only gave the rumors new life. The harder he tried to clean his name, the dirtier it seemed to get. One evening, exhausted and heartbroken, Aaron visited an old carpenter named Elias, a man known for his wisdom as much as his craft. Aaron poured out his frustration, explaining how unfair it was that people refused to see his truth. Elias listened quietly, sanding a piece of wood in his hands until Aaron ran out of words. Then he smiled and said, "Come with me tomorrow morning. I'll show you something." The next morning, they went deep into the forest, where tall trees reached for the sky. The air was still and quiet, except for the sound of birds. Elias pointed to two trees standing side by side. One was an oak, broad and strong, with branches spread wide. The other was a slender bamboo, thin and flexible, swaying gently with the wind. "Tell me what you see," Elias said. Aaron frowned. "The oak is strong. The bamboo looks weak." Elias smiled. "When the storm comes, who do you think will survive? The one that stands tall and resists, or the one that bends quietly?" Aaron thought for a moment and said, "The bamboo." "Exactly," said Elias. "When people speak against you, sometimes the best response isn't to stand tall and argue. It's to bend, stay quiet, and let the storm pass. Because storms don't last forever, but broken branches do. Aaron stayed silent, thinking deeply. Elias continued, "People who truly know you don't need your explanations. And people who don't want to understand you will twist your words no matter what you say. So stop wasting your peace trying to convince them. Let your actions speak, not your voice." They stood there for a while, watching how the wind moved through the bamboo leaves. In that stillness, Aaron felt something shift inside him. He realized that silence wasn't weakness, it was control. Silence had a power his words never had. Days passed. When Aaron returned to the village, the whispers were still there, but this time he didn't respond. He stopped explaining. When someone made a false comment, he just smiled. When others tried to provoke him, he remained calm. Slowly, people began to notice something different about him. His silence made them curious. His calm made them question their own words. Then, something remarkable happened. Customers started returning to his shop, not because he convinced them, but because they saw his dedication, his consistency, his quiet strength. His work spoke louder than his defenses ever could. One afternoon, a man who had once spread the worst rumor about him came in and said, "Aaron, I was wrong. You didn't have to say anything. Your work proved who you are." That evening, Aaron went back to the forest and sat by the bamboo tree. He closed his eyes and smiled, remembering Elias's words. He realized that silence had not only protected his dignity, it had restored his peace. When he looked at the sky, he noticed something beautiful. The sun was setting, and the moon was beginning to rise. Both shared the same sky, yet neither tried to outshine the other. They simply existed, each in their own time. "That's what peace looks like," he whispered to himself. "Not every accusation deserves a defense, and not every noise deserves your voice. Sometimes your silence is the most powerful statement you can make. Because silence confuses the judgmental, disarms the aggressive, and comforts the wise." He no longer wasted his energy trying to explain who he was. Instead, he focused on becoming someone whose presence was enough. When people spoke well of him, he didn't let it inflate his pride. When they spoke poorly, he didn't let it disturb his calm. He finally understood that peace, isn't found in being understood. It's found in being grounded. If someone misunderstands you, let them. If they talk behind your back, let them. The truth doesn't need defending. It needs living. Because the moment you stop explaining yourself to others, you start explaining yourself to your own soul. And that's the only explanation that ever truly matters. So, When life tempts you to defend every choice, every mistake, every silence, remember Aaron and the bamboo. Let the wind speak. Let your silence speak. And let time reveal everything that words never could.